Welcome to Travel Michigan. I'm Dave Lorenz along with Michelle Benash. And Michelle, where are we headed to?
We are headed to Dow Gardens in Midland, Michigan, and there is always a lot to see, a lot to do at Dow Gardens, but for a little bit longer, through August 4th, they have a great exhibit called Sculpt, and here to tell us all about that and the other many things that folks can find at Dow Gardens is Marty McGuire, the Managing Director. So welcome to the show, Marty.
Thank you.
So let's start with how you guys brought Zimbabwe to Midland with this great exhibit and what folks can find with this exhibit.
Well, we're really excited about the exhibit. It's actually stone sculpture from Zimbabwe, and it's a traveling exhibit that has been, the only other place in the United States it's been is the Naples Botanical Garden in Naples, Florida. It's also been in Canada a few times. We have over 100 stone sculptures throughout the gardens. Each sculpture is made of a single stone, and they are really, really beautiful. They everywhere from the human figure to abstracts to animals. They're really unique sculptures and really beautiful sculptures, and really adds something to the gardens. And because this traveling show does a lot with botanical gardens, they really do a wonderful job of blending them into the gardens. So the sculptures really look like a part of the garden and really add to what we think is a great experience at Dow Gardens.
So these rock sculptures, are the kind of the style? Is it emblematic of the kind of Zimbabwean culture?
Absolutely, yes. It's very much so. You see, as I say, several of the human figures with and what's really interesting about the stone is as you get inside the stone has color. And many of these sculptures have a gray color blended with a black color, or a gray color blended with a green color, and they get that by sanding and wetting the stones. And another interesting aspect of this show is we actually have two Zimbabwean sculptors on site who are demonstrating their craft and telling folks about how they sculpt and actually sculpting on site.
It's got to be difficult for an artist to adjust to the medium. You know, when you're painting, you're applying something, on a canvas, and the colors you have to use, and you basically tell the canvas what to do. But in this case, the artist is adjusting to that medium. It's got to be tough.
It's really interesting, and when I asked the sculptor if they know what they are going to sculpt when they start, they said no. The answer is what the stone gives me is what I'm getting.
Wow, that is cool. So the you call it Sculpt. This is on display for a short time at Dow Gardens, just going through August 4th. So people need to get there soon to check that out. And are these pieces big, small? Are they various sizes?
They're various sizes. They have some smaller sized sculptures are in our gift shop. They have some large ones. Some are as tall as 7 feet tall.
Wow.
And very heavy, but some are much smaller. They really range in style and in type. An interesting thing is in the collection that our curators have, there are over 200 artists represented. So they have several different styles and types, and we have 100 of them on display in the gardens.
Wow. It's a great opportunity. People need to get over there. And, we are so lucky here in Michigan. We have Dow Gardens. We have the Meyer Gardens and Sculpture Park. We have these very unique attractions here that I just hope that people take the time to experience what you have to offer, because it really is it's just a rarity to have such great quality gardens here. Tell us about Dow Gardens, how it got started on the Dow estate, and what you do there.
We're 110 acres, and we are on the original estate of Herbert and Grace Dow. Herbert Dow was the founder of the Dow Chemical Company, and actually began the gardens as kind of a respite for himself. And the gardens have grown. In about 1970, Herb Dow II, who was the grandson of Herbert and Grace, decided that it was time to make the gardens into a public garden. And so he enlisted his uncle, Alden, who was the son of Herbert and Grace, to do much of the hardscape and architecture of the gardens, and they enlisted a horticulturist by the name of Doug Chapman to actually redevelop the gardens, and they did this with a landscape architect from Charlevoix by the name of John Campbell. And John kind of developed a master plan for the gardens, and the gardens were redeveloped in the 70s. And in the last several years, we've been encouraging more public events in the gardens. We have concerts in the gardens. We have the art in the gardens. We have a nationally award-winning children's garden. And it's really a unique place to visit and enjoy things.
Yeah, it really is. And I like the fact that you can go to the conservatory year-round. There's the barn where you have, various seasonal displays and classes and all. And it's a special place, and it's almost an amusement park for people who love gardens because it just kind of changes and evolves. Really highly recommend you check it out. Over in Midland, Dow Gardens, and especially right now, make sure to visit Dow Gardens during Zim Sculpt through the 4th of August. If you'd like more information, all you have to do is go to the website, dowgardens.org, and you'll get all the information, including, I know they have a big display of the landscape and such, so get an idea of what you're going to be seeing when you do arrive at Dow Gardens. Thank you, Marty. Marty McGuire, Managing Director at Dow Gardens, and we appreciate you being here today. We're going to find out what's happening up north during the Antique Wooden Boat Show coming up next, right here on Travel Michigan, where your trip begins at Michigan.org.